in the bustling metropolis of New Terra, a city that stood as a beacon of human ingenuity and ambition. The presence of the Zorathians was a constant reminder of humanity's place in the cosmos. The Zorathians were an ancient and technologically superior race, whose civilization had flourished for tens of thousands of years before humans even emerged from their primordial beginnings. First contact had been a moment of unprecedented excitement, filled with hope and the promise of interstellar camaraderie. But that hope had quickly dimmed under the weight of Zorathian scorn. From the outset, it was clear that the Zorathians saw themselves as vastly superior to humans. Their tall, graceful forms, adorned with intricate, shimmering robes, exuded an air of regality. Their language was a melodic symphony of sounds, each word a carefully crafted note in a song of ancient wisdom. By contrast, humans appeared crude and uncultured, their technology primitive in the eyes of their alien counterparts. The Zorathians' disdain was palpable. They rarely miss an opportunity to remind humans of their shortcomings. In intergalactic assemblies, where representatives from various species gathered to discuss matters of mutual concern, the Zorathians often dismiss human contributions with barely concealed amusement. Their laughter, a melodious yet condescending sound, echoed through the grand halls, cutting through the aspirations of those who sought to represent Earth. Despite the mockery, humanity persevered. Scientists and diplomats worked tirelessly to showcase human achievements, from advances in renewable energy to breakthroughs in medicine and artificial intelligence. Cultural ambassadors introduced Zorathians to the richness of human art, music, and literature, hoping to spark interest and perhaps a measure of respect. But the Zorathians remained unimpressed, their ancient eyes seeing only the flaws and limitations of this young, eager race. Dr. Ilara Morgan was among the many who felt the sting of Zorathian derision. A leading linguist and anthropologist, Ilara had dedicated her career to the study of alien languages and cultures. She believed that understanding a species' language was the key to understanding their soul. Yet, despite her extensive knowledge and expertise, she had made little headway with the Zorathians. Their language, Zorati, was notoriously complex, with layers of meaning and nuance that seemed impenetrable to human comprehension. Ilara had spent years studying Zorati, painstakingly analyzing its grammar, syntax, and phonetics. She had even published several papers on the subject, earning recognition from her peers. But to the Zorathians, her efforts were laughable. They saw her work as a futile attempt to grasp a language that was beyond the reach of human intellect. The turning point came during an intergalactic summit held in New Terra, where Ilara was invited to present her research. The hall was filled with representatives from countless worlds, each species bringing their unique perspectives and contributions. The Zorathian delegation, led by Ambassador Karoth, occupied a prominent position near the front, their expressions a mix of boredom and mild curiosity. Ilara took the stage, her heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and dread. She knew that this was her chance to prove humanity's worth, to show the Zorathians that humans were not to be underestimated. She began her presentation, detailing her findings and the progress she had made in deciphering the complexities of Zorati. Her voice was steady, her words carefully chosen to convey both her passion and her respect for the Zorathian culture. As she spoke, she could see the Zorathians exchanging glances, their amusement barely concealed. They found her efforts endearing but ultimately pointless. After all, how could a species as young and inexperienced as humanity ever hope to truly understand the depth of Zorathian language and culture? The presentation concluded to polite applause, but Ilara could sense the undercurrent of dismissal. The Zorathians were not convinced. They continued to see humans as mere upstarts, lacking the wisdom and sophistication of their ancient race. The laughter, though muted, still lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of humanity's struggle for acceptance. Despite the setback, Ilara refused to give up. She was determined to find a way to bridge the gap between the two species, to show the Zorathians that humanity was more than just a fledgling race. She believed that the key lay in language, and she was willing to dedicate her life to unlocking its secrets. Late one night, as she pored over ancient Zorathian texts in the dimly lit archives of New Terra, Ilara stumbled upon something extraordinary. Hidden among the dusty tomes was a manuscript written in a language she had never seen before. The symbols were intricate and unfamiliar, yet there was a certain elegance to them that hinted at a deeper meaning. Intrigued, Ilara began to study the manuscript, piecing together its syntax and grammar. She soon realized that she had discovered an ancient language, one that predated modern Zorathi by thousands of years. This was the language of the Zorathians' ancestors, a forgotten tongue that held the key to their deepest history and traditions. Ilara was filled with a sense of awe and excitement. She knew that this language, which she named Vithara, could be the breakthrough she had been searching for. If she could learn to speak it, she might be able to connect with the Zorathians on a profound level, tapping into the very roots of their culture. As she delved deeper into the study of Vithara, Ilara began to uncover stories and legends that had been lost to time. These tales spoke of bravery, sacrifice, and the enduring spirit of the Zorathian people. They were stories that resonated with universal themes, bridging the gap between species and cultures. Ilara knew that she had found something truly special. With the help of a small team of linguists and historians, she set about the monumental task of reviving the ancient language. Her work was painstaking and often frustrating, but she was driven by the belief that language could be the key to mutual respect and understanding. And so, in the quiet corners of New Terra, a revolution was brewing, one that would challenge the perceptions of an ancient race and show them that humanity was capable of more than they ever imagined. Ilara was ready to prove that the laughter of the Zorathians could be transformed into a celebration of shared heritage and mutual respect. The journey had only just begun. The discovery of Vithara had reinvigorated Dr. Ilara Morgan. What began as a lonely journey of decoding an ancient script had now transformed into a collaborative endeavor. A small team of linguists, historians, and cultural anthropologists gathered in the archives of New Terra, united by a common purpose: to bring the dead language of the Zorathians' ancestors back to life. The ancient manuscript was a treasure trove of knowledge. Its delicate pages, inscribed with intricate symbols, told tales of a bygone era. The more Ilara and her team deciphered, the clearer it became that Vithara was not merely a linguistic artifact, but a repository of Zorathian heritage. Each word, each phrase, carried the weight of centuries of tradition, encapsulating the values, beliefs, and experiences of a civilization long past. As they worked, Ilara couldn't help but feel a profound connection to the Zorathians' ancestors. The stories they uncovered were remarkably human in their themes: tales of love and loss, of courage in the face of adversity, and of the unyielding pursuit of knowledge. It was a reminder that, despite the vast differences between their species, there were fundamental truths that transcended the boundaries of biology and culture. One particular legend stood out to Ilara, a tale of a Zorathian hero named Kaeldar. According to the text, Kaeldar had led his people through a time of great peril, uniting disparate tribes to fend off a cataclysmic threat. His bravery and wisdom became the foundation of the Zorathian civilization, a legacy that endured even as the language of his time faded into obscurity. Ilara saw an opportunity in Kaeldar's story. She believed that by reviving this legend and presenting it in its original language, humans could demonstrate their deep respect for Zorathian culture. It was a bold idea, one that required meticulous preparation and an unwavering commitment to authenticity. The team set about the daunting task of mastering Vithara. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months as they practiced the intricate phonetics and syntax of the ancient tongue. It was a painstaking process, filled with moments of frustration and doubt. Yet, the team remained resolute, driven by the vision of a performance that could bridge the chasm of misunderstanding between humans and Zorathians. Meanwhile, Ilara reached out to the Zorathian embassy, proposing a cultural exchange event that would feature the reenactment of Kaeldar's legend. Her proposal was met with skepticism. The Zorathians, accustomed to humanity's attempts to impress them, were wary of what they perceived as another misguided endeavor. However, the mention of a Thara piqued their interest. The idea of hearing their ancestral language, spoken once more, was enough to secure a reluctant agreement. As the day of the performance approached, the anticipation within the human team was palpable. They had poured their hearts and souls into the project, and the weight of expectation hung heavy in the air. Ilara herself felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. She knew that this was more than just a performance. It was a chance to reshape the narrative of human-Zorathian relations. The grand hall of the Zorathian embassy was a sight to behold. Its towering columns and ornate decorations spoke of a civilization steeped in history and tradition. The hall was filled with Zorathian dignitaries, their expressions a blend of curiosity and skepticism. Among them was Ambassador Karath, whose piercing gaze seemed to challenge Ilara's resolve. As the lights dimmed, a hush fell over the audience. The stage was set, and Ilara's team took their places, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The performance began with a haunting melody, the notes of an ancient Zorathian instrument resonating through the hall. Then, the first words of the Thara were spoken. The language was unlike anything the audience had heard in centuries. Its melodic cadence and intricate intonations filled the air, evoking a sense of reverence and awe. The story of Kaeldar unfolded with each passing moment, brought to life by the passionate delivery of the performers. The Zorathians were captivated. Their initial skepticism gave way to a profound sense of wonder. The ancient words stirred something deep within them, awakening memories of a time long forgotten. As the tale of Kaeldar reached its climax, the hall was silent, the audience hanging on every word. When the performance concluded, there was a moment of stunned silence. Then, the hall erupted in applause. The Zorathians rose to their feet, their expressions transformed by admiration and respect. Ambassador Karath approached Ilara, his demeanor softened by the weight of what he had just witnessed. "You have done something remarkable, Dr. Morgan," he said, his voice filled with genuine admiration. "You have brought our ancestors' words back to life and honored our heritage in a way we never thought possible." Ilara felt a surge of emotion. The journey had been long and arduous, but it had been worth it. Humanity had finally earned the respect of the Zorathians, not through technological prowess or diplomatic maneuvering, but through the power of language and the shared legacy of their ancestors. The performance marked a turning point in human-Zorathian relations. It was the beginning of a new era, one in which mutual respect and understanding became the foundation of their partnership. The laughter that once mocked humanity had been replaced by a shared sense of purpose and pride. In the days that followed, Ilara and her team were celebrated for their groundbreaking work. The revival of the Thara sparked a renewed interest in Zorathian history and culture, leading to a series of collaborative projects aimed at preserving their ancient heritage. The bond between the two species grew stronger, forged through the rediscovery of a language that had once been thought lost. For Ilara, the journey was far from over. She knew that there was still much to learn and many more stories to uncover. But she also knew that they had taken the first crucial step toward a brighter future. A future where the laughter of the Zorathians was no longer a reminder of humanity's struggle for acceptance, but a testament to the power of connection and understanding. The days following the performance of Kaeldar's legend were transformative. The Zorathians, who had long viewed humanity with derision, now found themselves captivated by the profound respect and dedication that had gone into the revival of the Thara. The performance had not only reignited their interest in their own ancestral heritage, but also opened their eyes to the potential of humanity. Dr. Ilara Morgan and her team became the center of attention, hailed as pioneers in fostering interspecies understanding. Invitations to speak at various intergalactic forums poured in, and collaborative projects between human and Zorathian scholars began to take shape. The once cold and condescending interactions between the two species started to thaw, replaced by a burgeoning sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. Ilara, however, remained focused on her mission. She understood that the revival of the Thara was only the beginning. The language was a gateway to a deeper understanding of Zarathian culture, and she was determined to continue her work, unraveling the mysteries of the ancient texts and bringing their stories to light. One evening, Ilara found herself in the Zarathian embassy's grand library, poring over manuscripts that had not been touched in centuries. The air was thick with the scent of aged parchment, and the soft glow of the lamps cast a warm light over the intricate symbols of the Thara. She was joined by Ambassador Karoth, who had become an unexpected ally in her quest for knowledge. "You've done more than revive a language, Dr. Morgan," Karoth remarked, his tone contemplative. "You've reawakened a part of our identity that we had long forgotten. It's as if you've given us a mirror to see ourselves anew." Ilara smiled, her fingers tracing the delicate lines of an ancient script. "Language is the soul of a culture, Ambassador. Through it, we can connect with our ancestors, understand their hopes and fears, and learn from their experiences. It's a bridge that transcends time." Karoth nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Your people have shown us that we were wrong to underestimate you. There is wisdom in your persistence, and we have much to learn from each other." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of a young Zarathian scholar named Liara. She carried a manuscript that had been recently discovered in a hidden chamber of the embassy. "Dr. Morgan, Ambassador Karoth, you need to see this," she said, her excitement evident. The manuscript was unlike any Ilara had seen before. Its symbols were more elaborate, and the language seemed to contain layers of meaning that hinted at a deeper, more complex narrative. As they examined the text, they realized that it told the story of a pivotal moment in Zarathian history, a time when their ancestors had faced an existential threat and had come together to forge a unified civilization. Ilara's heart raced with anticipation. This was a discovery that could further cement the bond between humans and Zarathians. The story spoke of unity, resilience, and the power of collaboration, values that resonated deeply with the current relationship between their species. With Karatha's support, Ilara proposed another cultural event, one that would focus on this newly discovered narrative. The Zarathians, now eager to explore their heritage, embraced the idea. Preparations began in earnest, with both human and Zarathian scholars working side by side to decode the manuscript and prepare for the performance. The event was held in the heart of the Zarathian capital, in a magnificent amphitheater that had once hosted the great gatherings of their ancestors. The stage was set, and the audience, a mix of Zarathians and humans, awaited the unfolding of a story that had been lost to time. As the performance began, the air was filled with the hauntingly beautiful sounds of the Thara, interwoven with the rich melodies of Zarathian instruments. The story of unity and resilience resonated deeply with the audience, evoking emotions that transcended cultural boundaries. The tale spoke of a time when the Zarathians were divided, their tribes scattered and at odds with one another. Faced with a formidable enemy, they were forced to set aside their differences and come together as one. Through unity, they overcame their adversaries and laid the foundations for the great civilization that would follow. The performance was a resounding success, eliciting a standing ovation from the audience. The Zarathians were moved by the rediscovery of their past, and the humans were inspired by the universal themes of the story. It was a moment of shared triumph, a testament to the power of collaboration and mutual respect. In the days that followed, the bond between humans and Zarathians continued to strengthen. The revival of the Thara and the shared exploration of their ancestral heritage had forged a connection that went beyond diplomatic formalities. It was a connection rooted in understanding, empathy, and a shared commitment to preserving the legacy of their forebears. Ilara's work did not go unnoticed. She was honored by both human and Zarathian leaders for her contributions to interspecies harmony. Her efforts had not only revived a language, but had also bridged a cultural divide that once seemed insurmountable. As she stood on the stage, accepting the accolades of her peers, Ilara reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. It had been a journey of perseverance, discovery, and ultimately unity. She knew that there was still much work to be done, but she also knew that they had taken the first crucial steps toward a brighter future. In the years that followed, the partnership between humans and Zorathians flourished. Together, they embarked on joint research initiatives, cultural exchanges, and interstellar explorations. The laughter that had once mocked humanity was now a symbol of shared joy and mutual respect. For Alara, the journey was far from over. She continued her work, delving deeper into the mysteries of Ithara and uncovering the stories of the past. She knew that language was the key to unlocking the full potential of their partnership, and she was determined to ensure that the lessons of their ancestors would never be forgotten. As she looked out at the stars, she felt a sense of hope and possibility. The future was theirs to shape, guided by the wisdom of the past and the enduring bond of unity that they had forged. It was a future where laughter no longer divided them, but brought them together, a testament to the power of understanding and the timeless legacy of their ancestors. The collaboration between humans and Zorathians deepened in the months following the performance of their shared ancestral narrative. What had begun as a tentative exploration of each other's cultures had blossomed into a robust partnership, characterized by mutual respect and a shared vision for the future. Dr. Alara Morgan became a prominent figure in this evolving relationship. Her work with Ithara continued to unveil new insights into Zorathian history and culture, each discovery further solidifying the bond between the two species. Yet, Alara knew that their journey was far from complete. The revival of an ancient language was just the beginning. The true challenge lay in using this newfound understanding to forge a lasting alliance. One of the most significant developments came in the form of a joint initiative aimed at preserving and sharing the cultural heritage of both species. The project, named the Chronicles of Unity, sought to create a comprehensive archive of historical texts, artifacts, and oral traditions. It was a monumental undertaking, requiring the combined efforts of scholars, linguists, and historians from both worlds. The Chronicles of Unity quickly became a symbol of the growing partnership between humans and Zorathians. The archive was housed in a newly constructed interstellar cultural center, situated on a neutral planet that served as a meeting point for representatives from various species. The center, with its sweeping architecture and state-of-the-art facilities, was a testament to the power of collaboration and the shared commitment to preserving their collective heritage. Alara played a central role in the development of the Chronicles. Her expertise in linguistics and her deep understanding of Zorathian culture made her an invaluable asset to the project. She worked tirelessly alongside her Zorathian counterparts, meticulously cataloging ancient texts and translating them into modern languages. One of the most rewarding aspects of the project was the opportunity to mentor a new generation of scholars. Young humans and Zorathians alike were inspired by Alara's work and eager to contribute to the preservation of their shared history. Alara took great pride in nurturing their talents, knowing that they would carry the torch of understanding and cooperation into the future. As the Chronicles of Unity grew, so too did the bonds between the participating species. The Cultural Center became a hub of activity, hosting seminars, exhibitions, and performances that celebrated the rich tapestry of their collective heritage. The laughter that once divided humans and Zorathians was now a common sound, echoing through the halls as they shared stories, ideas, and dreams. Ambassador Karoth, who had once been a skeptical observer of human efforts, became one of the project's most ardent supporters. His transformation was a testament to the power of genuine engagement and the profound impact of shared cultural experiences. Under his guidance, the Zorathian government committed significant resources to the Chronicles, recognizing its potential to strengthen the ties between their species. One of the most anticipated events at the Cultural Center was the annual Festival of Unity, a celebration that brought together representatives from across the galaxy. The festival featured performances, workshops, and discussions, all aimed at fostering understanding and appreciation for the diverse cultures of the participating species. The highlight of the festival was the unveiling of new additions to the Chronicles of Unity. Each year, Alara and her team would present their latest discoveries, sharing the stories and artifacts that had been unearthed over the past year. The festival became a symbol of progress and a reminder of the enduring legacy of their ancestors. During one such festival, Ilara unveiled a particularly significant discovery, a series of ancient Zarathian texts that detailed the philosophical underpinnings of their society. The texts, written in Vithara, explored themes of unity, resilience, and the interconnectedness of all life. They offered profound insights into the values that had guided the Zarathians through millennia of challenges and triumphs. The presentation of these texts was met with widespread acclaim. Scholars and leaders from both species marveled at the depth of wisdom contained within the ancient words. The text became a cornerstone of the Chronicles of Unity, serving as a source of inspiration and guidance for future generations. As the festival drew to a close, Ilara found herself reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this point. The path had been fraught with challenges, but it had also been filled with moments of profound discovery and connection. The laughter that had once mocked humanity had been transformed into a celebration of unity and shared purpose. Ilara knew that the work of fostering understanding and cooperation was never truly done. There would always be new challenges to face and new stories to uncover. But she also knew that they had laid a strong foundation, one that would support the continued growth of their partnership for generations to come. In the years that followed, the Chronicles of Unity continued to expand, becoming a beacon of hope and understanding in an ever-changing galaxy. The cultural center became a symbol of what was possible when species set aside their differences and worked together toward a common goal. Ilara's legacy endured, her name forever etched in the annals of interstellar history as a pioneer of unity and understanding. Her work had not only revived a language, but had also forged a new path for humanity and the Zarathians, a path marked by mutual respect, shared heritage, and the enduring power of connection. As she stood on the observation deck of the cultural center, gazing out at the stars, Ilara felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The laughter that had once divided them now brought them together, a testament to the transformative power of language, culture, and the unbreakable bonds of unity. The future was bright, and together, they would continue to build a galaxy where the lessons of the past guided them toward a future of endless possibilities.